Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Banguli Education. We're gonna learn about product moment correlation coefficient today, and it's part of A-level math statistics and level 3 math, guys. And so, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And now, I want to teach you the types of correlation for a start. There's positive correlation, negative, and no correlation. And as you can see, positive correlation has all the points going up, has all the points going up as the x-axis goes up and as the y-axis goes up. So the PMCC should be above 0, and when it's above 0, so that means it's a positive correlation. And for negative correlation, when the value of the x-axis goes up, the value of the y-axis goes down, so that means the PMCC is less than 0, so it has the minus value, so that means that the correlation is more weaker, becoming more negative. And a correlation of 0 means that there's no correlation, there's nothing. All the points are scattered around, and PMCC helps us to calculate how strong is the correlation, how strong the positive correlation is, and how strong the negative correlation. If the PMCC is higher than 0, as it gets higher, then the strength of positive correlation gets higher. The opposite goes for negative correlation. If the number gets lower than 0, then the strength of negative correlation gets stronger. And now I've been talking about all this stuff about product moment correlation coefficient. Now you might be thinking about how to calculate that, as this topic tells you how to calculate it, and plus I will be telling you how to do it. An example of this is an example of, or this is a question that asks you how to calculate the PMCC, how to calculate the strength of correlation to decide whether the correlation is strong or weaker. So here it says that 10 archers take part in an archery competition, and then they have 2 rounds from 50 yards, for 50 yards from the board and 60 yards from the archery board. And then I'll be showing you the scores out of 60 from 50 yards and 60 yards, guys. And here it says how to calculate the PMCC. And here's the table. And to work it out, I'm gonna label one side X, one column X, this column X, and then this column right here, the 60 yards one, Y, like this. And also, I'm gonna be making 3 extra columns to work out X squared, Y squared for all these values. So that means you have to square all the values here for X and all the values for Y. But first of all, I'm gonna make a sum, add all the values of X all together to make sigma X. And same for Y as well, for all the values in the Y column. So the sum of all X values is 333, and the sum of all Y values is 321. And plus, I'll be also making, we're squaring all the values of X and Y, and and multiply X and Y together as well in each row of the table. So that means for X squared, I'll be multiplying 12 by itself, 15 by itself, and so on for X, and same for Y. But for XY, I'll be multiplying 12 by 10, and so on, 15 times 17. And here are all the values. like I said, I've squared x, and same for y, same for xy. And also, you also have to sum all the x squared values, the y squared values, and the xy squared values using a sigma. Sum them all up. You get those big numbers. The reason why you have to sum them up is because we're going to put them into a formula to work out the PMCC. We're going to use different formulas as explained later on. The formula for PMCC is SXY divided by square root of SXX times SYY. And you might be thinking, what the hell is this formula? That's why I've been telling you we had to sum all the values. The formula of SXY is the sum of x and y times by y minus the sum of x times by the sum of y over n. The n is the number of values in the table in the first place, which are 10, which means the number of people that took part in the archery competition. Same goes for SXX and SXY, but using different values, like the sum of x squared, sum of y squared, and so on. And now here you can see the sum of x and y and xy. SXY is, I've got this from the sum of xy from the table that I've shown you earlier, which is the sum of x times y, which is 12,538. Then you minus it, put on the fraction on your calculator, which is the sum of x, which is 333, and the sum of y, 321, divide by 10. That will also give you SXY, and the value for SXY is 1848.7. The similar principle kind of goes for like SXX. The sum of x, x squared, is 13,239 minus the sum of x, then you square it, is 333 squared over 10. That gives you a value of 2150.1. And then SYY, again, the same thing applies to SXX, but to the y value. You do the sum of y squared, which is 12,423, and then the sum of y, then you square it, is 321 squared over 10, 2,118. So in here, for SX and SXY, you do the sum of y squared column right here, and then in this top part of the fraction, also known as the numerator, you put in the value of x squared, the sum of x, and then you square it, and the sum of y, then you square it. There's a difference in those values you get here then to here, if you get what I mean. And then you use the formula for what you've got as SXY, SXX, and SYY. You put all these into your calculator, and don't forget to square root the denominator, yeah? And that will get you 0.866. So what does this tell us? It means that the results in the table have a strong positive correlation, quite a strong positive correlation. as it's higher than 0 and it's more towards 1. Yeah. So it has a quite strong positive correlation. So it means that whoever scores higher, if the scores from 50 yards, it gets higher. So does the scores from 60 yards get significantly higher. So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, then please like the like button and subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe for a part 2 of PMCC. Peace out. Safe, yeah.